Hey folks, welcome back to the shop. As you can see, it looks very much the same as what it did last time I talked to you, except that I vacuumed the floor. You can't see that, but it's kind of the same. It's only been a couple days. Give me a break, for crying out loud. I'm working on it, all right? What are we doing today? I don't have no idea. This table saw needs some help, and I'm going to work on that today, for better or for worse. This is a Delta 36 something 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 T2. I don't remember which one. It's blue. It's a Delta contractor style. That's what I'm working on. I'll let you take a look at it here. Oh, okay. Let's see how much stuff we can knock over. Yep. Okay, here we go. Shop vac. Check. Shop vac stuff isn't unpacked yet. Router bit. Vacuum accessories. There we go. Oh, there's more than vacuum accessories in here. What is that, a spider? Get out of here. Go away. Okay. Sure, this looks good right here. Oh, I know what else is in here. Hey, look. Snorkel. What is that? I don't even know what half of this stuff is. We might need that. Ugh. Oh, here's what we're looking for. One of these. That would have been helpful before. Oh, I don't know what that is, but it ain't coming. Nope, that's the same as that. Okay. Yeah, maybe. Okay. Let's go with those three. Extra pieces to lanterns that, remember that one? Okay. So let me kick you around here and we'll get you a good view as to what's going on. And then maybe you can tell me. Okay, so starting out here, if I can, golly Moses, kill myself getting over here. I got to get that plastic off of it. Get my fence back out of there. That was the best option I could come up with for the fence, because I knew if I left it on its little rack whenever it was moving, it would get destroyed. Oh, can't cut steel. All right. Oh, just let that hang anywhere. That's fine. Anyway, yeah, I wanted to try and keep this as secure as possible in the midst of moving. I love the moving guys I had. They were great, but I know how moving goes. I've done it a couple times. And things just get banged around. And it's nobody's fault. It just happens that way. So, wanted to do some securing. Now, if you want to watch full on, the stuff that I did is not a moving how-to. A year or so ago, the Wood Whisperer, I can't think of his name off the top of my head, but anyway, the Wood Whisperer moved a much larger shop than this, and he's got some great tips. He's the reason I have shrink wrap. But anyway, get out of there. Okay, there we go. Woo! Holy cow. All right. I think what I'm going to do, basically just start at the bottom and work up. Sorry about the noise. Shop vac. What are you going to do? Found a reset button. That's good information to have if you have this saw. Didn't really know it was there. How can I tell you where it's at? On the left side of the saw, there's a motor, plastic cover, there's a red button. Reset. You can thank me later. What I'm trying to do is, I don't really care about the, I do, but I don't. just getting the dust and everything off the outside. I really am wanting to do some work on this motor, make sure it's good and clean, all the gears, all of that, all the dust is gone. And then if it needs lubed, I think I have some dry lube. You don't want to use a wet lube on this. That's like just asking for big trouble. So anyway, that's what I'm working on. There's a switch. Come here. Oh, garbage can. Okay. Ever seen me smacking my head? Feel free to laugh if I do. Okay. Well, this is a mess. Extra bolts because didn't come with all the ones I needed. One of the places I don't want to forget about while I'm doing this is under here, under the throat plate. What is that blade? I don't even remember that blade. Dust collection on this is, it's okay. There are some things you can do to help it. It's not bad. I don't have major complaints about it. But then again, I may just put that anywhere. That'll be fine. I did some things to kind of help mine out. I'll bring you in. I'll bring you under. That's where you really got to see. So this is what would be the right side of the saw if you're standing behind it. And this is your main dust collection boot. I don't know what you want to call it. It's where your blade rides. It shoots out to a blue spout over there. There's a flexible deal here. I don't know what to call it. And that takes that space up from the metal to the metal. And that's what allows you to twist and turn and do all that stuff. Problem is where this, we'll call it a fabric, meets the metal, there's gaps, you know, all over the place. So what I did was I took that big monkey tape, Gorilla Tape, folks, come on, work with me here. And I just kind of put a seal on that. And that definitely helped. Looking at it, there's some places that there's not much I can do about it, like right here. It's at the front of the saw, so we'll call that air inlet. But, you know, it's like that up on the top too. Okay, so I don't really have a good way to get the camera in there to show you. But on the inside, that's the flexible part I was talking about. And that's the boot. And you can see this dust collection right here. That was a gap. That was an open gap. And it was just blowing dust out through there. And so I taped up that side. I believe I taped up the other side too. There's more that can be done here. You'll notice right here, you can see daylight. You're not supposed to see daylight. And I have to do a little bit of experimenting to see if that's going to be affected when I raise and lower the saw or if I tilt the saw. If not, I got more of that monkey tape. We're going to do that. But for now, back to vacuuming. Well, first I got to take the blade off. Oh, it's a spider blade. I must have bought that the day that I bought the saw. Because I usually go to Home Depot. And I bought this saw at Lowe's. Mercy. How many times you drop this nut down in the dust collection? How many times? Be honest now. Don't you lie to me. I can tell. Look, my big fat hand don't even fit down there no more. I can tell you I've done it in 2 years, probably 3 times. Which doesn't seem like a lot, but it is when you have to get in there and get it. Now I have to be careful because I got all the nuts and bolts and washers up here for putting this all back together. I definitely don't want to suck one of them up. Oh my. That would, look, see, there's some tape that could use a little bit of help. Gorilla Tape. All right, so we're going to get this going. Okay. For the sake of argument, I'm just going to go ahead and put the belt back on it. Or, yeah, the belt. The blade. Yeah, it's a belt. And I was just buying saw blades for the sake of buying saw blades. I wasn't paying attention to what I was buying. I didn't know there was a difference. And none of my saw blades, as if I've got thousands of them, I don't. I have 3, I think. Anyway, none of them are a flat top blade. And you may say, well, so what? Why does that matter? Well, depending on what you're doing, it doesn't matter. But for instance, on my picture frames, when I'm wanting to, what is going on here? When I am wanting to put when I'm wanting to strengthen up the corner joints, I can't talk and concentrate at the same time. You know, and I'm cutting that slot in it. I'm not getting a clean slot because I don't have a flat top blade. And therefore, the pieces I'm sliding in will not go, you know, flush. And so you always have a gap, and that's, you know, not really what I'm looking for here. So the 2 blades that I use the most are this spider blade, and I have actually a Bauer, I think it's a Bauer blade from Home Depot, not from Harbor Freight. Not all that bad, folks. I'm not going to lie to you here. As you know, I work with a lot of oak, and I've not had any trouble with it. I clean it up periodically, you know, but it's done a pretty decent job for a Harbor Freight blade. And it's not even the best one they make. They make a Hercules blade, which is supposedly better. Anyway, all of that being said, when I buy my next blade, I'm going to make sure I get a flat top blade. So one of my big concerns, like I said, obviously was whoop, whoop, whoop. That's a no good. I went back through the owner's manual, which I don't, just saying. Because the other problem I was having were these metal inserts right here. The only place that they were bolted in were right here and right here. There was nothing holding them fast to the casting of the saw itself. Therefore, they were dependent on this, which is only bolted in with 2 bolts here. Seems to me they should all work in concert with each other and, you know, live in harmony and peace and all of that. So I went on, bought some extra bolts because there are holes here that match up to those wings. And as I said, I went back to the owner's manual and to see if I forgot or if I missed something. And the thing is they don't give you those. You know, that's not a concern to them. But knowing now what I didn't know then, it's a concern for me. So I guess to do this, we're going to need a level, which I know nothing here is level because the saw is not in place. It's not where it should be or anything like that. So what I'm going to do is kind of make this level to itself. We're going to start by doing that. Actually, that's pretty close to level right there. If I can get something to jam under that. Oh. Shims to the rescue. Folks, you need to just have a cheap package of shims because you're going to use them in ways you never thought of. You're going to run into things and say, there's just not enough cardboard in the world to fix this. and then you put a shim under it, and boom, away you go. I'd prefer to not open the entire package though. There we go. All right, let's see where we go here. That's doggone tootin' close. There we go. That's close enough that I can now get this on here. And that actually, as it sits, just like that, says that it's level. Which just blows my mind. Actually, that's exactly the same as the saw right there. So we put this back up here. I am just touching the line on the right-hand side. Again, I want to match this to the saw. Whatever the saw is level-wise is what I want this. And that's going to be right there. So I'm going to get me a tightening tool. I'm going to start snugging this up. That is not the right size for that. It's not even close. What about you? This is one of them cheap sets from, you know, over the left-hand ocean. But it's got every size I need for oh, look, it's perfect. For like probably $3, this set's great. I always know where they're at. Now that ain't going nowhere. I'm going to check them ones in the back just to make sure. Can't get to nothing. All right, we're going to leave that go. We're going to put this on back here where I'm not going to be able to see it. All right, that's actually spot on right there. I like that. I like it. So we're going to check these ones. Conceivably, they should be a little bit loose also. I'm stepping on stuff. Oh, okay, sorry. Now this back rail, the same as the front rail, it's a two-piece affair. So I'm going to put that on there. And that looks pretty good. And this back probably isn't as crucial. It is, but it's not as this piece back here. Okay, those are tight. I like it. Okay, now I have another piece just like this somewhere. Yeah. Oh, it's hanging off the side of the, don't worry. It's just the button, the on off and all of that. It's not really important. So what I'm going to do is throw a bolt in here to hold that in place, and then I'll play with making sure it's level and whatnot. Again, this isn't an instruction video. I don't know why I'm telling you all this. Big stretch. Oh. I wonder what time it is. I'm supposed to cook dinner. I have a very rare Saturday off. I won't say very rare, but the old wifey poo and I might go do something. We don't know. We'll have to see. Is there any decent movies out? Anything like that? Like, I don't even know the area. Do we have a movie theater? Or I got to drive all the way a country mile to get somewhere. And we're gonna crank these down. I am not gonna have this happen again. Okay. Now I got a good base there. Now she's solid as a rock. Okay. I had a thing here that had a tape measure on it. So there's part of it. There's part of it over here. Okay. somewhere in there. Looks good. It's got holes and whatnot. Okay. If and I remember right, do I remember right? That's the question. Here's the funny thing, folks. I have the manual for this. It's up there in a box. I could go, and get it and make sure I'm doing this right, but what's the fun in that? All right, I need wingdings. All right, here's this. So these holes are not exactly lined up from side to side, so we just have to find. See, that's not correct. It's got to go this way. And then I can run some bolts to it. All right, spare voltage with a Lark washer. And there's a hole. Let me get my eyeball under there. Oh, it's obviously my problem. That's perfectly lined up. I'm just going to do these two for now. See, I have to do all this. I want to make sure this is really well placed. Because remember, I want to put that, are you looking? I want to put that router in here at some point. Hang tight. I got to get behind you. Come on, you got to, excuse me. All right, here we go. First off, I feel like that needs to come up. Ow. Here we go. When in doubt, get a hammer. Love it. Man, there's not enough room for my big head. Give me this. I gotta bring this with me. I need a 1/2-inch wrench instead of this 12mm thing. Stop. Sorry. Stop. Oh, excuse me. Pardon me. I asked you to move. I can't get to it. You see, the problem here is, folks, is that you're standing right in front of my toolbox. Don't know why. A million places you could have stood. You chose that. Just saying. Oh, I hear voices. Not in my head. Well, here. Let me go check. I have a window. Could be my imagination. Who knows? I could be crazy. So I got a little bit of play there. That's good. I got a square. And that's the tool for the job. Golly Moses. I'm trying to take my toe off. To call a tow truck. Yeah. Yep. That's all gonna go up. Oh, there it went. Oh, look at that. Little tap-a-rooski right there. All right, I'm going to tighten these ones first because that's what's going to hold this up. What's even happening here? Oh, I do need that 12. My golly. All right, I'm sorry. Excuse me. Oh, come on now. I just put it away. Where'd it go? What size is that? 13. Nope. 12. Oh, okay. Oh, this is way high. Okay. That part right there is good. So I'm going to tighten this bolt and then do that one before I lose it. I'm losing it, all right. Okay. All right, this wing is done. only took me 14 hours. So, you know, I'll be cutting sometime next year. So now I got to do the whole thing over again. You've already seen me do it once. You don't really need to see me do it again. Let me get this one thrown on and we'll just jump to the next step. Okay, I got both wings on. They are as close as I can get them. There's not really adjustment in these. There is, but there's not. But I got them as close as I can get them to where I'm comfortable that it's not going to throw off a cut. The what's that thing called? The fence isn't really riding on that anyway, but I don't like the material dropping. And so I've got them as close as I can possibly get them. This one's real close. This one's close. So I'd hardly ever cut anything off of this side anyway. Everything's always over here. So this was the one I was most worried about. I was going to go ahead and put the fence row on tonight, but I am going to pack it in. It's 4:30. Pay no attention to that clock. It's not plugged in yet. That's wrong. It's 4:30. Like I said, this is a rare Friday evening when my wife are both off, and we're both off tomorrow. So I'm going to go cook dinner, and we're just going to enjoy a nice evening out of the rain. So I'll be back at it hopefully tomorrow, and you know, or if it's the next day or the next day, it's all good. It'll just be, you know, click and you'll be there. And we'll get the rest of this put back together. Other intentions for this are making sure that my fence rail is on correct and straight, and putting my fence on and getting it this way and that way and that way. You know what I'm saying? I got to do the fish, is what I'm saying. Make sure it's all straight and level and all the things it needs to be. It was before, but that was 800 miles ago. So I'll see you in a couple seconds. Click, click, and then you'll be there. Okay, day 2 on this bad boy. It's not a 2-day job. I made it a 2-day job because I didn't spend a whole lot of time on it yesterday. But if you remember, it was just a couple seconds for you. I know you remember. This rail here is level to the, we're going to have to get on that, is level to the top of the saw. And that's important because the fence rail system doesn't have any adjustment to it. It just bolts to this. Once it's bolted in place, what you have here is what's important. So that's where I'm at now, is putting the fence rail on. And I don't know, proceeding from that, you know, this probably not where that's supposed to be. So we'll work on that too. So, all right, let's get a fence rail put on. Wow, somebody just unloaded the shotgun. That's beautylicious. All right. In town, somebody just unloaded a shotgun. That's interesting. Anyway, I don't know this region that I'm living in, the mountains of North Carolina, but I'm assuming that hunting season is fixing to be upon us. So I would imagine there's going to be folks out sighting in scopes and things of that nature. So I grew up with that. My dad was a hunter. My brother was a hunter. I hunted a little bit. But it's not an uncommon sound this time of year to just to just hear random gunfire. Yeah. Now, I guess if you live in Detroit or Chicago, that's probably, you don't want to hear random gunfire. 12 to the rescue. One Adam 12. One Adam 12. Anybody remember that show? One Adam 12 and Squad 51. Man, Those were the two shows I watched as a kid. Okay. Pay no attention to that. That's not even close to normal. But that concludes all that. So this is all on, obviously, because it's there. Probably within the next year, I'm going to have to replace these tape measure stickers. That's on. I'm going to tell you, I love the placement of this button, of the on-off switch. Because if I'm cutting a board and it gets a little bit terrifying, I don't have to take my hands off of the board. I can just bump that with my hip or my knee or whatever and it shuts it off. That's a great place to put that. I really love that. So I'm going to clean this mess up and then we're going to look at the fence. And I have to find my digital angle meter gauge number, the little square thing. Just seeing if I left the wax on there too long. I don't know that that's a thing. The wax does get hard. I'm just trying to see if I need to get excessive and scrubby pads and all that kind of thing. But from the looks of it, I think it's going to come off of there and I think it's going to be fine. I have a couple of spots I need to address. One is right here. One is right there. The little teeny tiny rust spots, and I don't know where they came from. Well, they came from moisture, basically, is what happened. Wow, so really laid it on there. But okay, anyway, let's get on with the show here. All right, we're going to put that there. That'll be fine. Oh, I didn't find my thingy. All right, hang tight. I got to find the digital thing. I forgot about that. That was a nightmare. I don't even know. It wasn't in a box it even should have been in. How does that? There's a box back here. Never mind. Anyway, good news is I found it. The reason I need that, if you're looking at this for instructions, by the way, good luck to you. All right. Oh, we're going to work today? Did the batteries go dead in the move? You have got to be kidding me. Y'all ever watch Hee Haw since we're talking about old shows? Doom, despair, and agony on me. Deep, dark depression, excessive misery. If it weren't for bad luck, I'd have no luck at all. Doom, despair, and agony on me. Anyway, what all that means, I told you all that so I could tell you this. The battery's dead. So, if you take the little safety sticker off the back, that's where the batteries go. I'm doing this because I have a stash of little, I call them saucer batteries. I don't know what they're called. 2032s, because that's the most popular one. Ooh, that just popped right out of there. And survey says 2032s. 3 of them. Sweet Mary in a manger. I don't know if I have 3 of them. Ain't but one way to find out. Hey, hang in there. I'll be right back. Bacon is good food. Don't tell my wife I told this. 3-second rule. It's bacon, okay? You don't let bacon go to waste. Anyway, 2032s, I buy them in a 6-pack. Just because. What was that? So as it turns out, I'm not crazy. I was hearing things. So quit calling me crazy. somebody was dropping off a exercise bike. Not for me. It's got to be for my wife. I didn't order one. Because why would I do that? Exercise bike. Anyway. Okay, so I found my batteries, as I said, in a 6-pack. And I don't know why. Good gravy. I don't know why you need a knife and a forklift and a bulldozer to get these things open. There we go. Get in there. Okay. Do. Have you guys walked like an Egyptian yet today? Do. Okay. Oh, it's already on. So these are garbage. Throw them in the appropriate garbage receptacle. Put those over there where I'll never find them again. Are we on? Is this thing on? Oh, it's already at 0. Sweet. 89.3. 2. Sounds like a radio station. We can do better than that. Let's get that up a little bit. Come on. Why do you? This must be a slippery table saw blade. This particular reader, digital angle gauge dooflicky, I have never been able to get this blade spot on 90 degrees. And I don't know if it's probably the gauge. It came from Harbor Freight. Normally I can get to 89.9. Okay, so we're going to call that good. I'll lock that down. All right. All right, my friend, good to have you back. And I'll put you somewhere where I'll probably lose you again. You know what? If a guy was to put it right there, I'm counting on you folks, okay? I'll forget. Let's close that down so I don't cut my finger off. Get the old... Oh my. Oh, right in the eyeball. In the midst of cleaning everything, I did not clean. Why are you... There we go. Now, there is apparently a known problem with the Delta fence. I don't see it as a problem. I see it as an inconvenience. If I'm bringing this over, and let's just say I'm lining it up on this T-track rail here. I wasn't kidding, it's in my eyeball. I can already see I'm a 1/4 inch off. But as soon as I do that, for whatever reason, it doesn't stay flush. I don't know. It's a known problem though. So now I could line this up to the tabletop, but that's not what you want to line it up to. From what I've seen, from what I've read, it needs to be lined up to the tabletop blade. Okay. This isn't plugged in, by the way. All right. I know you saw me do that, and Bob over there was just about to jump out of his shoes. It's not plugged in. Okay. So as much as I would like to just say, oh, it's not in line with this, that doesn't matter. It needs to be in line with the blade. So I'm going to bring this over a smidge. I'm going to find a tape measure that I trust. I saw one. Yep, here. All right. This is always fun. Let's see if they're the same. Huh, they are. Okay. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to get this to a 2-inch mark, which is going to be right about there. And we're going to lock her down. I see something else about this fence that I don't necessarily love, and that is that there's a gap here and not here. So I'm going to take a look at that and see why that's doing that and if it's something that I can fix. The riving knife is in the way. So did I cover this up to it? Yes, I did. We're back. Now, I'm using a roller, okay? There are people much wiser than I that have digital readout, caliper, dooflicky. I don't got that, okay? So we're gonna go with what we got. This almost looks like this is a little tighter here than what it is here. No, actually it's not. It is actually dead on, because I'm on a tooth here and I am unable to see. I didn't turn the lights on today because I got the skylight. But if I had to say, I would say I'm at 1 17/16. Is that even, you know, it's a 32nd from 2-inch. All right, so if we come to a tooth over here, it's exactly the same. So as far as parallel to the blade, I'm good. So now I want to check it for the squareness. And I don't know that if I don't want to use a plastic speed square because it's plastic. You know, I have a cheap square over there that I don't trust. I have an Empire scale over there that's been dropped more times than my 7th grade girlfriend. Let's use this guy. Oh, excuse me, pardon me. What's it? George Washington cut down a cherry tree. All right, so this, I suppose, this is where it gets a little groggy, and I'll be honest with you, I'm not sure at this point what I'm doing, because this I'm going to make square to, you know what? Well, no, this is 90. Well, no. So if I know my blade is at 90 degrees, this is aluminum though. Excuse me while I talk to myself and work this out. I don't know if my digital angle finder, it's not going to stick to that. I don't remember what I did with it. It won't, but I can get it flush against that. I know my blade's at 90. So if I turn this guy, wow, that works so much better. And we're going to zero it out, which it is. This is locked. That's reading exactly, pretty much exactly what my blade is. Oh, that's actually reading 90. Oh, that's craziness. What do we got up here? Oh, okay. Up here, it is not. Yeah, it is actually. I'm looking at it upside down. Listen, folks, this fence is ready to go. So that's good news. So my fence is good. My blade's at 90. This is solid. The only other thing I'm going to check is my you know what I'm talking about. The red line for the measurement. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to get 2 inches to the inside, which means I need to go that way. I like that. And make sure that I'm 2 inches on this. Now, folks, they make this adjustable. Okay. 2 inches is 2 inches. It don't matter where you go. 2 inches is 2 inches. There's no disputing that. What I do is I adjust this to where whenever I look at it, I'm going to look at it the same way every single time. And so if you come look at this little gauge here, it might not be 2 inches for you. It might be 2 1/16, you know, but I'm going to set it to where every time I look at it, it's going to be the same. Because for right now, me looking at this, I'm seeing 2 1/16. Okay. Now, if I stand over here, it's 2 inches, but I'm never standing over here. Maybe I should stand over here. It's a half step. You would think a guy could do that. Actually, I'm not going to play with that because if I'm standing right above it, it's dead on 2 inches. So I think we're ready to call this thing good. Aside from some cleanup on the top and getting this wax off of here, it's pretty much, it's adjusted in, you know, everything's put back together. Everything is solid. You know, I feel so much better about this now. So this is ready to go when the time comes. We have one circuit left to put in, not meaning to make a shop update. One circuit left to go in, and then insulation. Insulation I found at a pretty decent price, and it's about 45 minutes away from where I live, but that'll give my wife and I a reason to go out and eat, because we don't. We have an anniversary coming up on, you know what, when you're seeing this video, it's our anniversary, 14th. So maybe I'll take her on a nice romantic trip to Home Depot. Chicks dig that. Anyway, folks, I'm going to go ahead and get the top of this cleaned up and just do some general cleanup in the shop, and you know, start getting ready, because we're, like I said before, we're close. We're really close. But until then, I look forward to seeing you on the next one, and God bless you.